Another day, another market review. We have the week of Christmas, so this will be a shorter week, which I'm a bit glad because I am quite tired. But I'm really put my ass in this chair, turned on my fucking rain noises, and I'm studying. I don't care. Excuses were popping up in my head. Trust me, I didn't want to be doing this. I don't want to be doing this, but I gotta trade. Well, I gotta recap and gotta study every single day, especially on days like today. Is the day that you don't want to show up. It's one thing people say that shit all the time in the gym, like when you're running, doing this, that, wake up, run, or go to failure. I can do that shit. It's like this. This is where I gotta get a lot better. Is like when I don't want to mentally be here and like my brain is just not really firing on all cylinders, it doesn't matter. Like you got to push through those blockades and allow you for yourself to kind of get more disciplined when it comes to learning, because it's a learned skill. Like sitting and learning and studying and memory retention, all that's a learned skill. Now sometimes you ain't like me, you ain't born with the right set of cards, so you really got to stretch them motherfuckers. um, but you got to make do with what you got. So we're getting back to the full reverse engineering. I learned for myself when I touched on the interactive backtesting more so yesterday. It doesn't stick as well. I've been backtesting for so long, and now I just really started focus on reverse engineering, and it just sticks way better. So if you're someone that has that issue as well with backtesting where it just doesn't seem to stick, maybe try this. But nonetheless, let's get into the week of Christmas. Merry Christmas. So as we open up this week, we're coming from a YM C2 closure, SMT at the low. So you had the first crack, second crack, first crack, second crack, just consecutive SMTs here. And you can trade now Monday into the C3. Now this is a bit expanded, especially when you have a Friday large range. Monday is more, it's just more likely it might be it just consolidated. Like if you have a large expansive range, so it's the ladder to what I've said before, where it's like if you put in a reversal on Friday and it's just like a C2 reversal. Now this is a C2 reversal, but a C2 reversal into expansion, expansion. But if it's just a straight up reversal, a lot of times you can see that Monday just open and continue. But when it's a bit large range, Monday sometimes likes to be more, lackluster. So what added and was a heavy confluence into like trading this higher is that we had failure to manipulate at this level. This level as well is already traded through on Friday, and YM is just playing a game of strength switch to become the leading asset to catch up into that draw. Obviously, like these are still higher in range, but this one had ES was pretty expansive, but this one was just kind of playing catch up into this draw, so that's what made it quite clean. So also with the stacked equal highs, so we leave triple equal highs at the 6 a.m. candle. We fail, we have a bit of a rejection wick off of it. Now you would want to validate that through 15-minute profiles, things of that nature, to make sure that this is not a crack up here with this SMT and we just trade lower like NQ did. NQ is just kind of a bit on its own mission. It's filling into this N dog. This is kind of a very untrustworthy low, and I really don't like trading away from this either, but this is a very untrusty low and a gap. So NQ is just kind of on its own move. We do have ES pushing forward, so this is really clean. Have this SMT there. You filter down, you have this displacement. This shouldn't be here. Sorry. What am I doing? Be gone. So you have the two-stage crack at 9 a.m. put in. So you have the PSP, as you can see on NQ with an SMT, and then we get another two-stage crack. So if you missed, you can catch the continuation when this draw is still left. Like by this candle, if you are a bit pushed back from this decoupledness, which makes complete sense, NQ being completely decoupled will make this a bit of a lower probability trade rather, because markets aren't moving in unison. So if you want to wait, you can wait for 11 to take out this draw, because then that's when markets all become bullish in nature together. So this could have been taken maybe like a 15-minute continuation, but I'm going to focus on the 5-minute chart here because that's what I like to trade. So you have the 930 displacement, immediate reaction with just a big fuck you, just boing, bading. Nice noise reactions. So as that happens, we get a new phase of prices, bit of a consolidation. Doesn't really validate this SMT. There was some, like, this is SMT, but it doesn't go. Finally, we get this SMT with the reaction that validates the SMT. So we had like one here, and it just bought about. There's ES was just decoupled, and obviously NQ was completely decoupled. But ES was trading a bit lower, putting in these SMTs, and so you get this one, get the nice closure over for the SSD, because as you can see, you get this one, but it's 950. Like, there's just not much time in the game. Like, you're just not taking this. At least me personally, I just want to wait for the new 1 hour open. So then the new 1 hour opens here. 10 just kind of trades higher. It doesn't really do anything. You don't get the order block yet. We get the trade lower. Okay, boom, really clean. Now you can stake your claim, or your low rather, on this SMT low here, and then you just swing it into ERL. So a nice 3.5 trade, pretty clean. This is the one I was talking about. You'd have to do a candle body. I mean, this candle is almost all body. There is no wick to put it on. What am I searching for? My brain's a little dumb. Yeah, this is a tough one. Yeah, this is like because the draw's there. 1.38. I don't think you get 2R off this. Let's see. That's a tough one just because this displays this like retracement into this order block here with another SMT. You can play though. You can play the strength switch though on ES here. So at that same time, what time was it? This. You get a little continuation. New candle opens up. If it's opening up with this SSD, then maybe you can just swing it into here. This is kind of clean, low key. It's just if you've already put it in, you're just expecting the new 1 hour to just completely expand. So here, I mean, that in itself is 2R, and then you get how much. This is actually pretty clean trade there. Bit of a strength switch because YM kind of is a little bit has a deeper retracement. Where was she at? Was it? Maybe I'm lying to y'all. It's just a bit more expand. No, they're kind of both expanding. So, never mind. I lied to you. It's not really much of a strength switch, but that continuation on ES was a bit clean as well. So, either or. But we'll get into Tuesday's price action, and then Wednesday's Christmas Eve half day. Yeah, so we'll just kind of take it as is. That's the first trade Monday. We are now on to Tuesday. This is not quite what I was expecting. I thought we'd get a bit of a pullback into the range with some bearish price action. But instead, we get some nice 4 hour profiles, 2-stage crack. We trade higher into local highs on NQ and YM. So it turned out to be pretty clean, truthfully, based on the 4 hour profiling. But the daily, I just, coming into this day, I didn't quite expect it. But with the SMT fill, it was nice. So with the next candle, or the next time frame, we have this CIC, which is the PSP. This is obviously stronger, a bit more of a deeper retracement compared to YM here, but is the strength switch showing that this is the leading asset here. So we got an ES strength switch, some SMTs all over, but this is the main one I'm tracking here with the PSP, so that qualifies as a 2-stage crack. Trade 10 a.m. higher, simple 4 hour profiling. Once you get into the 1 hour, you have this SMT placed locally that you can see here. Not locally, I like to use that word for some reason, even though I don't think it quite fits. But it's just here, like the consecutive SMT here, consecutive candle SMT. So boom, boom, you have that. Really nice reaction, so it puts in the higher high and has a more expansive 9 a.m. candle, closing a little bit stronger. It's just the targets you're smacking, I guess, is you have some stacked highs here, so that makes sense, and you end up targeting them if we fast forward some more candles. But this just kind of just moved upwards, like just slowly but surely with 5 minute candles just etched its way to the top. But for this, I really like this signature in price for NQ and YM to come break this local, well, the previous day high. Yeah, previous day high. So this previous day high, 9 a.m. high, 12 a.m. high here, pretty clean. SMT C2 reversal candle, 10 a.m. C3 continuation. Easy put on that. Break it down to the 5 minute time frame. I got two that I want to break down here. So with YM, there's two trades you could really take. Now I could totally see myself taking, this is not exactly the signatures I want to see. We do have an SMT here. I've deleted one. There is a two-stage SMT. Hold on, I'm gonna have to, technical difficulties. Yeah, here it is. Ran this candle as you can see on ES. So you have a bit of a strength switch there. That leading asset. Come here. Go, bitch. Go down there. There we go. So you have that two stages there. This low is taken, yeah. Wait. Yeah, this low is taken. So ES takes this low. YM doesn't. Obviously two stages, it takes that low. With NQ here. But you can see a nice strength switch. This is a bit, look at this. Holy pump. A lot cleaner, leaving cleaner displacements. This obviously just looks a bit of trash. This is very clean. Bit of a strength switch here. As you can see, ES is having a deep retracement. You have this two-stage crack here. Where is it at? You can see. So boom, this candle is swept by this candle, but this candle isn't. And then so you just have like a little two-stage to form this low on NQ. So this could be clean. I can see people taking this with the SIST, and then you almost get a tap in. If you put it right on the level, you don't. But if you kind of put it here, obviously you get tapped in. That's a super clean trade, actually. Oh, yeah, it did. Okay, yeah, I think I have the trade recap. I was a bit farther in the range. I got like tapped in here. And I ended up pussying out because I had to go to work. I remember this day. It wasn't exactly quite what I expected. I think I have a trade breakdown on this trade here. So I remember this day. Okay, it's coming back to me. But here we go. So we have this, yeah, remember this two stage of the lows, boom, it started expanding. I remember I was getting FOMO, I think, because all assets were unison systine. Yeah, and NQ to play the game of catch up strength switch. Yeah, super clean here. As then it hits its draw here. You have consolidation. YM enters a new phase of price. That is consolidation. ES and Q rather, I mean, as you can see, as this enters a new phase of price, this allows this for a bit of a strength switch to then continue into its high and then smack it here. So NQ gains strength while YM consolidates to come and take its high, and then ES is just the strongest out of the whole day. But I'm more so looking at the correlation between these assets as we have these signatures in price, like the expansion into its local draw. Okay, draw is met. What occurs? We don't get a reversal. Obviously, we just get a continuation sequence characterized by this consolidation phase of price. As this consolidation phase of price occurs on YM, we now get continuation signatures. I mean, we're still in a continuation clearly, but we're getting a strength switch, as you can see. Like, this is displacing higher retracement. It's just a bit choppy, but it gets there. So getting involved down here, yeah, I remember had to go to work, wanted to closed out, and then I opened my chart and saw that this draw was met, and I was like, nice. But yeah, cool. All right, that is Tuesday. Wednesday's gonna get a little weird. So Wednesday, Thursday, yeah, like this is 20. Getting in. Well, this is the whole day. It's the 23rd. 24th is going to be Nasdaq closes at 1. Like, Nasdaq itself closes at 1, I think, that day, and then the full market close obviously on Christmas. Cool. Oh, it's fucking late here. I need to go to bed soon, but I need to finish this video. So I guess we got work to finish. See ya on the next day. This bullish continuation from this week, just from last week into now this week. On Christmas, I remember this was just so, like, this was such a clean December. Very clean up to the day, up to Christmas Day. Like this day was clean. You had strength switch on YM. As you can see, it's trying to play catch up. See how farther down it was in the range on this day, while NQ and ES where it was. Jeez, that grammar. Oh, whatever, man. It's getting late. It where was it was. Whatever the fuck I just said. But as you can see, it's down here. It's trying to catch up. I'm going to try to piece this together and explain it as best as possible as it is pretty late. So we have a nasty V shape on the daily here. Take out these highs. Just an easy like internal move. So SMT and internal, where we're going to go next. If we're going to go from internal, it's going to be external. Just a nice universal model there. You can see it on the 4 hour quite nicely too. And then YM just plays a bit of strength switching as it's trying to play catch up into these draws. So I took YM and we'll break that down now. Well, we're breaking it down now, but we'll continue breaking it down to the 4 hour. So just a classic old 6 a.m. manipulation with SMT to trade 10 a.m. continuation. There are nice little stepping stones, relevant swings in the market to take out. So boom, boom, and lieu to the draw up there. Just a nice market maker buy model. You have the sells, boom, engineer liquidity, boom, reversal at the lows. Yeah, I can't quite remember. I'm butchering the market maker buy model here. I haven't looked at it in a while. So sorry MXM, sorry MXM the god. But again, clean. We just have an accumulation from New York PM yesterday. Just accumulated. So accumulation, manipulation. Then we validated it with the distribution. NQ still pretty clean. And then here we go with the SMT. The SMT on the 4 hour, we're playing that gap left from 6 a.m. or 10 a.m. rather yesterday. So we rebalance into it a bit. SMT's within it. And then where we're going to go from internal, we're going to go to external. And this draw is very close in proximity and has clearly shown its hand that it wants to be the draw. Like it's just, ES has drug and clawed its way just all the way up, and you think it's just gonna, now it could, especially on like December 24, like bro, before Christmas, and we get this price action. Come on, very clean. But this is what would have tipped my hand to YM trading here. What we had was a strength switch, so the asset that puts in the lower low here is the one that puts in the bullish PSP, while NQ puts in a bearish PSP. So you would want to validate this strength switch now with what? Displacement away, gaps, small opposing runs, continuation upwards, and that's exactly what YM. So it puts in very clean signatures to show you that it is now the leading asset higher. So as we break down the 5 minute here, we'll get a very clean setup after 9:30 is put in with the manipulation immediately, as you have gaps being put in the market. YM is nice enough to then offer retracement with an SMT within the gap, holding, and then continuation order block. You just take this entry here. If you want to get greedy, you wouldn't have got tapped in at SMT low. Just target standard 2R. Or if you want to hold into, what is it? I'm not going to zoom this quite far out, but yeah, it's all the way up here. Damn it. It hits, I think it hits it by the next candle. But just clean static 2R here. So nice expansion away from SMT to validate it. Continuation of the fair value gap with SMT. Take the continue order relation. Continue order block after. Very clean, very nice. Yes. Tomorrow is Christmas. Well, with least within this price action. But the day after is Friday, and I'll meet you there. Meet you on Friday. It is the last day of Christmas week for this price action, and we have a very extended range, and ES has met its draw, it's met its objective. So all these things coming off of the previous day being fucking Christmas are reasons not to trade this day and just sit it out and enjoy the holidays. So the price action reflects it. Very, very small range candle. ES hits his objective, expecting to pull back into this crazy range. I think this candle is just a new phase of price, as in we hit a draw. What do we expect now? A new phase of price. We get a consolidation. So 4 hour profile is like kind of clean. It's just like such a small range candle, obviously due to the nature of the day, but you do get a sneaky little trade. It just doesn't work out. It's not clean. You would have to take like a 15 to 1 minute, and like there's just nothing on the 5 minute to really get involved with. And price was obviously quite choppy, but as you can see, 6 a.m. this already goes in and trades into this level, this 2 a.m. low. So you take London low at 6 a.m. on NQ, but you don't take it on the other two assets. So you have 2 a.m. low, not taking on 6 a.m. other than NQ, and then YM and ES come, or NQ, wait, hold on. Okay, I was saying that completely wrong. I'm sorry, my brain is shot. YM has hit this 2 a.m. low. This hasn't. Now NQ and ES can come and take this low as we are just continuing lower, confirmed by this two-stage cracking correlation here. But it's just, again, shitty day to trade, day after Christmas. But you know, the logic is there for a little like scalp trade. So other than that, there's not much. But again, let me say this in nice sentences now. Had to re-rack my brain. But 2 a.m. low is swept by 6 a.m. We get a continuation. We get a holy crap. I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to lock in and finish this video. It's late. I need to go to bed. Anyways, 2 a.m. low swept by 6 a.m. Cool. Are we going to reverse from this level? Doesn't look like it, because then we come in and put in a two-stage SMT. So the asset that was previous bullish in this range with the higher high SMT has now closed as a bearish PSP, validating a strength switch and being able to trade this lower into this SMT break level. Very, very local SMT break level, but nonetheless it is one. So then again, two-stage, you get the SMT, PSP here, just, I mean, complete chop fest. There's nothing, like, there's just nothing, like, even if you, okay, like, what the hell, that's a chart, oopsie, I'm hotkeying all over the place. Even if you're like, okay, I want to play that strength switch on NQ here, it just leaves without you. For one, let's see if there's like something clean on the 15-minute. Jesus. So 9:45, you'd have to take a 9. Let's go back. I need to go. I don't know why I'm playing around with this, but 9:45. So 10 opens. Yeah, see, 10 just opens and dumps. Doesn't even allow, like, there's just no really where for you to get in. There's a bit of a touchback here, and then you just, this is like when you're so close to this low. These are scalps that, like, I know of some people doing that are like high probability you would just cover this little high, but this is like a little 1.55, and then I think it plays out even further. Okay, obviously not. I was wrong. Didn't remember that day. But as you can see, like, it's just like, as you can see, just like like sorry, my vocabulary is quite down right now. But yeah, just the draw is pretty clear right here. It's just, it doesn't really let you get in. There's a 3-minute continuation. Like, you take this, it's just the draw is met and then it's done. So not anything out of that Friday. Not the cleanest, obviously, just due to the nature and timing of this day being after Christmas. But there is a little something, but not much. There is some clean logic that I liked, so that's why I wanted to go over it. Just the strength switch, asset trading higher, now puts in the bullish, bearish PSP. I mean bearish PSP, signaling a strength switch, and you just go in, break this little SMT. So yeah, clean. See y'all in the next market review.